How are British English and American English different? Really excited to get into this and see how we both speak differently. Before we do, I appreciate if you guys can hit that subscribe button. Let's get straight into this.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Lang Focus channel and my name is Paul. Today we'll be answering the question, how are British English and American English different?
Okay.
One of the most commonly asked questions by learners of English. And hopefully native speakers of English will learn a thing or two from this video as well.
Aye.
The truth is that both British English and American English have numerous varieties. In other words, various accents and dialects.
Okay, sure.
So for the main part of this video, I'll try to focus on the most standard non-regional variety of each one.
Okay, fair
Disclaimer,
enough.
I'm not American, I'm actually Canadian. But I'm confident that we will someday be Americans after the invasion.
Ah?
Standard Canadian English is
Wait, is he just said America's gonna invade Canada? Yo, is that gonna be a fake?
very, very close to general American English. So I will say
Wait, what's that?
standard Canadian English
right,
is
okay,
very,
so-
very close to general American English. So I will say the American English samples myself, unless
Right.
there's some specific need to distinguish between American and Canadian pronunciation. There are several ways in which British English and American English are different. Vocabulary,
Okay.
accent,
Okay.
spelling,
Yep.
and grammar.
Yep.
Vocabulary. Let me just throw a bunch of examples at you. In the US, people generally say garbage or trash,
I say
while
trash
in
a
the UK,
lot.
they generally say rubbish.
You know what? I do say trash a lot. I think I'm starting to say trash more than rubbish, dude.
Both literally and figuratively.
The game was rubbish.
Right.
Americans go on vacation, while Brits go on holiday.
True.
And that's
We-
also
sometimes
possible
we-
in American English.
Sometimes we do say vacation as well, but yeah, okay, yeah, holiday.
In the US, people rent apartments, while in the UK, they rent flats.
Bro, I actually argue with people in Britain with this, bro. I say apartment all the time. Like, you might have heard me say it before. Like, I used to live in an apartment. I never say flat, bro. Wait, apartment has somewhat a different meaning in the UK? Huh?
In the US, if your apartment is at street level, then you live on the first floor,
Okay.
and the person above you lives on the second
Right,
floor.
I think I would
in
say
the
the
UK,
same.
you live on the ground floor, and the person above you lives on the first floor.
Hey, that is true, but I personally say first and second. It would be weird, bro, if someone was on the second floor, like this floor here, and I was like, they're on the first floor. That'd be weird to me. But we do say that in the UK.
If that person above you is unable or just too lazy to take the stairs, in the US, they'd
Okay.
take the elevator.
What would we call
In the
it?
UK, they'd take the lift. When you're bored
Ah, I feel like we use both.
at home, in the US, you might turn on the TV, while in the UK, you would turn on the telly. The US, you might turn on the
Aye, that's
TV,
funny,
while
bro.
in the UK, you would turn on the telly.
Yo, telly is TV. Bro, like, I'll say TV. I don't say telly no more. But telly is just like television. You know, television, TV. I never say telly anymore, but yeah, people do say that. Okay, interesting.
When you step outside of your building to go for a walk, in the US, you might walk on the sidewalk, while
Right.
in the UK, you walk on the pavement.
Okay, yeah, we do call it payment.
And if you're tired of walking, in the US, you might take the subway.
Okay.
In the UK, you take the underground.
Right. Or the
In the
tube, yeah.
US, it's perfectly okay to wear pants when you're riding the subway. But
Right.
in the UK, you'd better wear some trousers too, because
Yeah.
pants means underpants.
Yeah. Yo, your pants, bro, our pants is underwear.
And specifically, women's underpants are sometimes referred to
Knickers.
as knickers in the UK. So
Bro,
when
that's such a funny word, bro. We don't really say it much anymore, I ain't gonna lie, bro. We don't really say it no more.
someone overreacts to something, in the US, you might say, don't get your panties in a bunch.
Right?
But in the UK, you would say,
Don't get your
Okay.
knickers in a twist.
Paul, how dare you be so crude? Now I can't show this video to my 6-year-old students.
Yo, so far, this is a really good video. I'm actually enjoying this one.
oh, don't even worry about that. They'll just watch it on their phones during recess. Going back to the word pants for a moment,
Right.
it can also be used in British English as an adjective, meaning
Okay.
something is crappy
Yeah,
or it
sure.
sucks. For example,
That album is pants.
in
You don't
American
really hear
English,
too many
you
people
might
saying
say,
that now.
that album sucks.
Yo, I would say this more than this. You don't really hear people say pants no more. Yeah, that's kind of died out. But people have said it. I have heard people say it. But personally, I'd be like, yo, that album sucks, man.
Accent. So for the US, I'll try to focus on general American English, and for the UK, I'll try to focus on received pronunciation.
Okay.
These are the accents you're likely to hear on CNN and the BBC, respectively. R sounds. American English is rhotic, meaning that R sounds are always clearly pronounced. British English is non-rhotic, meaning that the R sound is not pronounced unless it's followed by a vowel sound.
Okay.
Listen to the difference. My father's in the car.
My father's in the car.
Let's focus on two words. Father,
Father.
car.
Car.
Notice that the
Car.
final R sound is not pronounced in British English.
Right.
Father ends in a simple schwa vowel, like father. And in car, the vowel sound is lengthened in place of the R sound.
Car.
Now, the thing
Car.
about British non-rhotic accents that I find pretty wild is something called the intrusive R. That means that people sometimes add an R sound to a word that doesn't actually have one if it's followed by a vowel in the next word.
Huh?
For example, in the sentence, I saw a film. In British
I saw a
English,
film.
it sometimes sounds like this.
I saw a film.
So you can hear that there's a
It does. I saw a film. Bro, I actually seen this in a video before and it was tripping me out. We do this. I saw a film. Like, you can hear the R. Bro, it's so weird.
an R sound
do
connecting
we say
saw
that?
and ah. I once had a British on-the-job trainer, and I remember she said, "Hello, my name is Paula, and I'll be your trainer today." I remember
Paula.
thinking, Paula? What? You can't say your own name? But it wasn't just her, that was the intrusive R.
that's
T
weird.
sounds. In British English, and again, I must emphasize that I'm talking about the accent referred to as received pronunciation, T sounds are pronounced as hard T's. In other words,
Okay.
voiceless T sounds. In the US, they sometimes sound like D, an alveolar tap instead of T, an alveolar stop. This normally occurs in an unstressed syllable between two vowel sounds, or between a vowel and a rhotic sound, like an R sound. So in the US, people say butter.
Butter.
In the UK,
Butter.
they say
Butter.
in the US.
What did I say? I didn't say either. I say butter. I didn't say butter or butter. I say butter. maybe I'm not any accent. Dude.
People say butter.
Butter.
In the UK, they say
Butter.
in the US. Stop fighting. In the UK,
Stop fine.
Stop fighting.
you may have also noticed that the O sound in the word stop was a little different. Which brings me to O sounds.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't really say my T's. Fighting.
The word stop, the American O sound is an unrounded
Stop.
vowel, ah, while the British O sound is rounded, aw. Another example,
Stop.
hot.
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 There's also the O diphthong in the word no. In the UK,
No.
the sound is a schwa followed by an as in put. Show.
Show.
A sounds. In other words, sounds
To
represented
be fair, they do sound a little bit similar. It's just the UK sounds more posher.
by the letter A. Ah in UK English normally becomes an A sound in American English. For example, in the UK
Half.
Half.
and in the US, half.
Oh,
Words with
wait.
a in-
Yo, half. Yo, that's weird, bro. Why do we do that?
British English remain pretty similar in American English. In the UK
Half.
Cat.
and in the US, cat. An exception is a small set of words in which the A
Yo, I feel like I'm in an English lesson back in school when I was like 5, bro, and I'm learning words for the first time.
is followed by a double R, in which case the vowel is pronounced as eh in the US. In the UK,
Marry.
in the US,
Marry.
marry. Because of the difference, in the US, Mary and Mary sound the same.
Yeah, they do.
Carry and carry sound the same.
Carry.
Spelling.
Carry.
American and British spellings are largely the same, but there are a few notable differences.
Right.
This is in large part because Noah Webster, who
The biggest difference one is color, man. Hey, listen, everyone's always had problems with color when you mix up the different languages, dude, like different countries. Is O-U-R or O-R, you know what I'm saying?
the Webster Dictionary is named after, made an effort to reform English spelling in the 1700s in order to make the words spelled the way they sounded.
Okay.
This resulted in some spelling changes in American English. Most, but not all, words that end in RE in the UK end in ER in the US. For example, center, theater, meter, somber.
Yeah,
Some
I
words,
ain't gonna
for
lie.
example, center, theater, meter, somber.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Theater. Center. Bro, like... I don't like the English way of spelling it like R-E. I prefer the E-R. It looks cleaner. This is just like jumbled, bro.
Some words that end in NCE in the UK are spelled with NSE in the US.
Right.
License, defense, offense.
Okay.
Some words with OU in the UK are spelled with O in the US.
Yep.
Color, favor,
Yep.
honor, labor,
We're just adding
etc.
in extra words, bro. Extra
The
letters.
ending ISE became IZE in the US. Organize, apologize. A similar change
Do you know what's weird? I actually spell these words the Z way, the Z way. Yo, bro, it's confusing me, man. It's confusing me. No wonder I failed English. I was spelling in American.
also occurs in other contexts where the S is voiced. In other words, it makes a Z sound. Analyze, cozy. There are verbs
Okay.
ending
Wait,
with
I
Z
spell cozy
sound.
with a Z.
Analyze, cozy.
Do I? I don't even know. I'm confused. I'm so confused.
There are verbs ending with L that take a doubled L in British English when a suffix is added.
Right.
In American English, there's no double L. Traveled, cancelled, marvelous. If you're wondering
Okay.
how the last one fits in with the others, remember that marvel is a verb, and then an adjectival suffix is added to it.
Right.
Grammar. There are only
Grammar
very
time.
minor grammatical differences between British English and American English. Auxiliary verbs. British people use shall for the future much more than Americans, as well as to ask for advice or an opinion. Some difference in preposition use. In the US, people say on the weekend, but in the UK, they say at the weekend.
Right, okay.
And in the US, people say different from or different than, but in the UK, they say different from or different to.
Interesting.
There are some different past tense forms. For example, in American English, the past tense of the word learn is learned, while in British English, it's more common to say learnt. Actually,
Oh, why I say learned? Bro, what?
both forms are used in either
I learned
country,
that.
but there is more of a tendency towards one form. This is true for other words like dreamed versus dreamt, burned versus burnt, leaned
I say
versus
burnt.
leant, etc. Another example.
Wait. Is burnt the American way or what? Because I say burn. I say learned. I don't say learnt. I say I was burned. Or I burned. Oh, I can't say both. Dreamed, dreamt. I say dreamed. I dreamt. I don't know. Bro, I'm confused, man. I feel like I use everything.
In the US, the past tense of dive is
I'm so
usually
confused.
dove. In the UK,
Yeah,
it's
don't say
dived.
dove.
Maybe the American form developed
Yeah,
by
dive.
analogy
I say
with
dive.
drive and drove. Anyways, differences like these are not consistent, but you'll notice some different past tense forms here and there.
Okay.
Past participles. Sometimes past participles have a different form. The most well-known example is for the verb get. In the US, there's get, got, gotten. But in the UK, it's get, got, got. Both forms, got and gotten, have existed since the Middle English period, but
Right.
gotten has fallen out of use in the UK.
Okay, yeah, you don't really hear that
Got
much.
can be used in American English in the form have got, but with the meaning of have, not have received or have become. I haven't gotten the eviction notice yet.
I haven't got the eviction notice yet.
Yeah, we don't say got.
Alright, let's check a couple
I
more
never hear that.
sentences and see what we encounter. In the US, I think we need a lawyer. In the UK,
I reckon.
I reckon we need a solicitor.
you'll notice that a couple of words
I don't know. I would say I think we need a solicitor. I wouldn't say reckon. I have said reckon a few times though. Like it is in my vocabulary, but I don't know.
here are different. British people often use the word reckon, which means think or suppose.
Right, it does.
Americans know this word, but rarely use it. And while Americans would typically refer to a professional legal consultant as a lawyer, in the UK they often say solicitor, which is a
Okay,
type of
that's
lawyer
true.
that does consultation. The type of lawyer who represents you in court in the UK is usually a barrister, while in the US they're usually
Oh, I'll just
referred
say
to
lawyer.
as attorneys.
Oh,
Another sentence.
I'm wrong either
in
way.
the US, I'm going for a beer with my friends.
Right.
In the UK,
I'm going for a pint with my mates.
okay.
notice that British people often say pint, where Americans would say beer. Brits also say beer as a countable noun like this, but pint is frequently used. And notice
That's
that Brits
true.
often say mate, where Americans
Do we? Do I say mate loads? I do. I say bro and mate a lot.
would say friend. The differences between British English and American English might seem surprising or amusing, but remember, in
It's
this
fun.
video I'm zooming in on the differences
It is
and
fun.
focusing on them. For the most part, they're actually the same. There are some minor differences in vocabulary and pronunciation, in grammar and in spelling, but any native speaker with a little bit of exposure to the other will quickly adapt to these differences and be able to understand the other variety without any problem. The differences are sometimes greater if we focus on regional dialects and sociolects of British English and American English. While most Americans probably have no trouble understanding received pronunciation.
Oh yeah, bro, that's so true, mate. You go to certain parts in the UK, and I'm guessing in America as well, you're gonna just get totally different words, mate. Yo, even in Birmingham, which is close to me, there's a place there, like, I just don't even know what they're saying. They got different words for everything, bro.
They may have some trouble understanding Cockney English or the Geordie accent of northeastern England or other varieties. But as far as standard non-regional speech goes, I'd say that the differences are minimal. However, learners of English who focus on one of the two varieties will likely have a little bit of trouble understanding the other until they gain significant exposure to it. The question of the day: what other differences between American and British English are you aware of?
That was a very fun video, though. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Do want to hear what you guys say to that. It'll be really interesting to know if you guys are using any of the British words. You know how, like, I'm sat here using the American words instead of British words? It'll be really interesting if you guys are, or if you picked any up from me. That would be interesting to know. But yeah, really good video. Enjoyed that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed as well. If you did, make sure you leave a thumbs up. Subscribe for more content. Live every single day on twitch.tv/L3WG. If you guys want to check me out over there, I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.